I'll train her to spin fire. The NFT analyzer, diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From mint coins to tokens, he's got all the intel. Web3 is a tree, show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. Wild stories from the web, he's always in the know. Crypto community, vibing where the treasures flow. Web3 wonders, chain reactors on the scene. NFT insights and crypto dreams.
Good morning, guys. Mega GMs. Welcome to the Swarm Report. It is Tuesday, October 7th. Hey, did you know it's, I believe tonight, it's the first, I think it's super moon, full moon. And we got to check in with our moon quant, man. We got to check in with Moon Quant and see what direction we're heading here. Interesting, because I don't. You guys probably follow if you're listening here. We're paying attention, but oddly enough, right, the market often moves with phases of the moon, full moons, and whatever's the flip side of that. But yeah, it's a thing. I don't make the rules, but it's a thing. I wish Lemon were here. Lemon, are you out there watching today? Lemon, I think we got to call our Moon Quant, and he probably has some thoughts about this here. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. It's a really interesting week in the market already. We hit another all-time high yesterday, right in the peak of mania around the newest TokenWorks launch, the Goblintown launch, Gobstrat, Gobster. And while it's happening, again, Bitcoin, all-time high. Incredible things just continue to happen almost on a daily basis here. It's a beautiful thing. We're going to get into the TokenWorks tokens here again today. Can't wait. We got another launch coming up, the Chexworks or Chex Strategy token. We'll review the Goblintown one. But of course we got to put, the time on Virtuals Unicorn. Yeah, the new Virtuals Launchpad. I think we'll call it a Launchpad. But the replacement for Genesis revealed yesterday after the show. I like it. I think it moves the needle, at least in the short term. And I'll tell you this, guys, it's coming really, really, really soon. As in, I believe it's coming this week. And I believe if you're looking at the Genesis Launchpad right now and what's listed there, I think you're looking at some of the new unicorn launches. I'll tell you this, though. I actually think we're going to see something before anything there. I think there's going to be a surprise stealth announcement of a launch, and that's not just a guess. I'll just say I don't know for sure. It's not purely a guess. I'll say this: I think there's another launch coming, and I would say this week. And I wouldn't be shocked if it were. Look, we'll get to the details, but Unicorn has a 24-hour launch window from when you announce to when the token TGE actually happens. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it tomorrow. So we'll do a little speculating on that. Dropking, good morning. Dead, good morning. Good to see you, man. Luna, good morning. Alizar, good morning. Good to see you guys. Yeah, we'll see. Virtuals does have a spaces today. Actually, hang on. We'll get to that. Let's get to the show. Let's do our self-show here real quick. We're live on Abstract. We're live on X. Actually, not really live on Abstract. Trying. There we go. Now we're live. And we're live on YouTube. Wherever you're watching, hit the like. It moves the needle a lot over here on the YouTube side. So hit the like wherever you are. But come over to YouTube, man. Subscribe over here. Erock, good morning, man. Great to see you, sir. Dude, Erock, I don't know if you've been here in the past week, but you might like this. We're back to covering crypto and NFTs as well. So, hey, we're kind of back too. Let's drop a link to the X stream here. Again, just likes. They go a long way. They really do help. Boom. Yeah. Yep. I think, Katz, you're going to be all good here. So what we'll talk about what he's what Katz is referencing there. But yeah, points are going to matter here. They are. Guys, you can follow me at Hudah_idiot on X. Hey, dude, awesome. I'm glad to have you back here. You were always awesome and supported and popped in here. I loved it. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, we're back on the real stuff. Anyway, follow me there. Follow the swarm_AI. You stop it, Luna. You cut it out, dude. Sending me into a dark spiral. And go to SlamAI_XYZ. Follow. Really important. Follow there. Peek at the white paper on SlamAI.xyz. I'll be sharing a lot of that on this show, guys. A lot. And it's going to be well worth people's time paying attention and seeing what it is that we've been cooking for so long. It's the big moment. I'm excited for it. There we go. A couple quick. Well, I'll get to headlines in a second. I just want to mention, just give a little color around SlamAI. I saw a post. Sometimes other people put it so perfectly. Some people have a way with words. This post here from Good, explaining the opportunity in prediction markets. And I've been saying it's the markets, yeah, but it's the platform tokens that I think are the best opportunity. And I still believe that. But Good really sums up how I really feel. It's like a light bulb moment. Saying it's the infrastructure, right? It's the things that are powering the prediction markets, which isn't necessarily the prediction market token. Right? He's comparing it to like Chainlink. Well, what do you think about data that's on chain that's live and accurate at the block? Every block. So live data, on-chain data, accurate, and historical. It matters a lot. It will matter more and more and more because of prediction markets, very much because of prediction markets. And so if you think of that, if you think of these, like, look, guys, we've looked at these prediction markets who have these bets that get out of whack, right? And they might end and still have to calculate and figure out the resolution. Well, for some of these markets, some of these bets, they can get that resolution, again, live right away. Or even if they have to have a little like delay, they can go back and reference that very specific block that lined up with the end of a market where the time hit zero. It does matter a lot. It's going to be really interesting, and that's the direction we're pushing in and have been for a while. Going to be sweet. Mr. Uppit, good morning, man. Picasso, great to see you, dude. And Maverick GM, man. Yeah, dude, we needed it. It was important to focus on virtuals like exclusively, but we need all this stuff. It's too important of a moment in the market now. We can't ignore that stuff. All right, let's get on to the show here. Just a heads up, though, Virtuals was supposed to be live with their spaces actually an hour ago. They've pushed it back by a few hours, guys, which is awesome. Let's us get into it and speculate away. That virtual space is actually coming up at this point, I think in 2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours from now, the Virtuals team is going to be live on Spaces with their co-founder, Everything Empty, and they're going to spill all of it. They're going to give you all that alpha, all that info. I think they're going to have a surprise announcement for a project launching. You'll get to do some Q&A. If you have questions about how this is going to work, you'll be able to ask it there too. All the details, I'll be tuning in. There's no way I'm missing that. But I think the big surprise, this is my hunch, kind of a little educated, is that we're going to see it this week. And I think there's going to be something that launches, I'm going to guess within 24 to 48 hours. That's my guess. We'll see if I'm right. All right, on to the crypto market. Dude, looking spicy out there. We did hit another all-time high yesterday. I think we might have, somebody can correct me here. Someone can give me the very specific number. I think we touched 126K. I think we did. And if not there, then right below, damn, hang on. Choppy and light. I'm sorry. The visual stuff bugs me. Looking all right at 124 right now. ETH at 4,700. Are we going to hit 5K? Are we going to hit 5K this week? We're getting real close to all-time high here for Ethereum, and I think we're going to hit it very soon. BNB touched another all-time high, 1,300. Ripple 298, Solana 230. It's looking pretty freaking fantastic here. And I don't think it's going to slow down yet. I do hear a lot of people thinking we're going to have a little bit of a pullback. I hear people talking cycle again, both sides of it. People saying, you're almost starting to get consensus now, cycle done. And I listened to B-Check and his awesome morning market show this morning. And B-Check fully believes in the cycle. I do too, to a degree, right? But I think what a lot of us are betting on is that growth in crypto outpaces or counters any kind of pullback we get. We will get a pullback. There will still be cycles. But here in crypto, there's something different happening here, which is going to allow us opportunities just throughout. And that's just the way I look at it too. Separately, maybe I'll save this for later or another day, but there is more talk about AI and when it forces that change that, we're betting on 5 years out from now. It's like Raoul Pal says, right? 5 years to unfuck your future. It's that idea, that thesis. There are people out there, and I can tell you at points I'm one of them, who thinks that big change that is coming is maybe further off than 5 years away. And I can get on board with that. I could get on board with the idea of how AI will change everything. It's not 5 years off, but instead is 10 years off, maybe 20 years off. I could see it. That's what happened with the internet. It took a lot longer for that to change everything. I can see it. Anyway, Bitcoin ETFs, massive volume yesterday. This is our biggest day of inflows in almost a year. This is an 11-month high at the very least here. 1.1, almost 1.2 billion in inflows yesterday. Bitcoin ETF cooking. Over on Ethereum, how about it? There we go, 176 million inflows. Solid. We'll peek at Solana. 2.7 mil. All right. Looking good across the board, but those Bitcoin ETFs. Oh, man. Oh, man. Now, the regulation stuff is coming. It's happening. We know government shutdown right now has kind of put this on pause for a little bit. But when it comes, the growth that we're going to see, the opportunities that are going to keep coming, it's this kind of thing. Right, guys? It's Robinhood CEO saying they figured out real estate tokenization. They got it. They know what their plan is. They're waiting for regulation. How many times do you guys hear that on this show, on this stream? That the awesome stuff we're seeing now, it's tip of the iceberg. You got companies like Robinhood. You have companies bigger than Robinhood who have been watching the crypto space behind the scenes, building in the crypto space, planning, but not releasing, not announcing their projects yet. They're not doing it yet because they need that regulatory clarity. They actually need it in law. They're not going to go and put it out there yet when it's not official, right? They don't know. There isn't law that protects them. When that happens, I'm expecting a flood of announcements, of big money being committed to this space. Look at what happens in AI right now, where you're seeing these, $500 billion investments. It just massive. You're going to start seeing that kind of thing around crypto too. And that's just one of those little signs that the thing we think is coming is definitely coming, man. It's definitely coming. Quick headlines, just two of them this morning for you, and then on to virtuals. But this is a big announcement this morning from Polymarket. Pretty spicy. A $2 billion strategic investment coming from Intercontinental Exchange, ICE. $2 billion investment here in Polymarket. That's the parent company of what? The New York Stock Exchange. Don't know what exactly they're building, but they're saying the next evolution of markets. So yeah, I don't know what it looks like, man, but just follow where the money's going. It's that simple. Be paying attention to prediction markets here. Yikes, Luna. No, I don't think that's a bad shout. I don't think that's a bad play at all, man. Dude, monster money coming in here. Monster money. And then final morning headline here. The Dude token got a big exchange listing over on Upbit. That is the biggest exchange in South Korea. Moved the needle. Dude token hit a 100 mil market cap. So Dude back. Dude cooking. Love to see it. The NFTs actually moving too. We'll look at the NFTs here shortly. But yeah, NFTs on it. Like Dude's looking good. We will get them on the show. It's time. They wanted to come on the show, and I didn't have the right format because they didn't want to talk AI yet. I'm like, well, shit, it's an AI show. Well, now we can get Doodles on the show. So we'll get that locked in here. Onto the AI market here. Total market cap, let's just say 17 bill. But if you've been watching, it's not real. That's not real. We got to subtract out that USDT again, which is at 6.5 bill. So yeah, we're just about over 10 bill. We just can't seem to get momentum on these AI tokens, but it's really getting weird out there, right? Memes on Solana kind of dead. Memes on BSC cooking. Absolutely on fire. Prediction markets taking all the attention too. Stuff's shifting, and I'm watching for those opportunities when things shift. You usually get some nice opportunities there. I'm watching for it. I'm watching. Your top agent by market cap. Look at Fartcoin, back over 700 mil. Need to see that, guys. That's great for memes. It's great for AI tokens. 736 mil. They're followed by AIC, IRC, Toshi, and then Tibber. On the infrastructure side, it's FET, Virtual, DCAI, Open, IoTX. We haven't had a big shakeup here in a while, man. I need it. And then in DeFi, it's Venice, Banker, AI Tech, Olas, and Cortex here. And then let's finally check Mindshare here as well. Elsa AI on top here. Cooking with Mindshare, man. Followed by Banker, Fartcoin, CXT, and Everlyn. All right. I expect to see Virtuals racing up this ranking too. Both market cap, but also Mindshare with the new stuff coming. Man, I can't wait to get to this. Quick look at points. Points do matter just for, well, what I think is a few more days. I'm stuck. I got expiring points and nowhere to spend them, so I'm pretty well fucked for airdrops that are coming up, which is a bummer. I'm not happy about losing my 100K points. Probably should just move on, right? But not happy. Points, 163 mil today. Not great. Is what it is, and it's not going to matter soon. Now, here's the big news. Here we go. Let's get into it. Excited for this chat. So Virtuals yesterday tweeted out their new token launchpad, Genesis going bye-bye. The new launchpad or new launch mechanics, it's called Unicorn, the next launch model for Virtuals protocol. Let's dive into this. I'll even kind of read through some of this, and then we'll get to the specific points and if they move the needle and how and why, and actually what maybe ends up being worse for this. I don't think much, by the way. I think this is an improvement pretty much across the board. Still with some concerns here, though. Still with some concerns here. All right. Number one, moving away from points, which is great. They're right. The system became about collecting points. Had nothing to do with conviction. Fair. Who here was just doing the points grind for the sake of doing the points grind for the chance at getting in a pre-sale? That was the game on Virtuals. Got to the point where it wasn't fun, if it ever was fun. But it wasn't fun. It wasn't rewarding, which is the bigger problem. It wasn't rewarding. So you put the time and effort into making content and doing some trading, and your reward on the other side was not many launches. And the launches that there were, well, very little token allocation. So not worth your time, not worth your efforts. And so they're putting it right. The result, smaller wins for virgins, lower quality projects, declining conviction. Fair, but unsustainable. Fair is kind of subjective. Fair for who and whatever. Unsustainable, clearly. It didn't work for either side. So they're big changes. Man, it's a lot. Oh, I like how they break it down like this too. Access to the launches, fundraising, founder line. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. Actually, let me pull up my tweet because I've got some bullet points here of the big changes. No, fuck it. Let's use theirs. Starting with how a team launches a coin or a token on Virtuals here. It's as easy as paying a 100 virtual fee. Any team, anybody can come to Virtuals, spend 100 Virtuals, and kick off the launch process. Which is, guys, if you want to launch, you have a 24-hour period at minimum. At minimum 24 hours, and then TGE happens, which, cool. I like that. No problem there. Everything there sounds kosher. You're not going to have any, like, stealth launches. Stealth within 24 hours, right? That's going to be a stealth launch here on Virtuals, and I think we're about to see one. But you're going to have some time at least to prep for these things, which helps. Now, what's different here, if there's a token launching on Virtuals, right now, right, you have to have points to get into it. Not anymore. Gone. No more points. No more gated token pre-sales. All completely gone. In a way, we're going back to kind of prototype launches. Tokens hit their TGE, tokens live. You can buy on the spot, and your buddy can buy on the spot, and your friends that never touch Virtuals can buy on the spot. Everybody now has access to get into these pre-sales. Well, okay, I need to not say pre-sales. These TGEs. All right. This is going to work kind of like the token work strategy tokens. When they launch, out of the gates, there's a massive tax, massive tax, 99% tax on these tokens right when they launch. Supposed to keep snipers away, right? So if a sniper gets in, TGE happens, sniper wants to buy up all the supply. He throws $100 or $1,000 in. Let's go 100. Throws $100 in. He gets $1 worth of token, right? 99% tax. Going to decrease 1% over what? We don't know. And we'll get this probably on their spaces, but we're going to get that length of time, how quickly it decreases. Token works on the strategy tokens. It's 1% a minute. So what? Within, I don't know, an hour and a half-ish, it's 10%, roughly. With this 99 down to 1%, which is where it'll settle, don't know. They could drag that out over days. They could drag it out over hours. We don't know yet, and that kind of will matter as we start talking about how these launches are kind of mini events. The strategy tokens are, everybody's sitting at their computer watching the pre-sale happen, or not pre-sale, the token launch happen. But it's kind of an event. You're sitting there and you're like running your numbers and you're trying to pick your spot to get in. Well, if it's too long, the event's a little more less exciting. How about that? You decrease that quickly enough and you've got probably a good hour or two of fun. So I like that. That's a fair launch. And so we're going to see all these projects launching, and we're going to do our due diligence, and we're going to vet these projects, and we're going to find what we think the upside is. But beyond that, you got to start calculating out, well, where do I buy in? If I think this is $100 million token, am I willing to take that 99% tax? You might be. You actually might be on these. But you're going to find that sweet spot. We're doing it with the strategy tokens. Maybe certain launches, 50% tax is like kosher for you to get in. It works. Maybe some of them you don't get into the very, the end. They'll all have their own strategy, which is really, really fun. But some of them at 99% will make sense. You get a big team that comes in, you probably are going to want to do that. So I dig it. The next part, guys, is the team's token allocation. This is the first area where I'm like, I'm missing something here. I'm missing something. I'm not sure if it's either not explained or if it's just not working. Okay. Oh, hang on. Back to the tokens real quick. There's no penalty for selling. Just so you know, there's no penalty. There's no lockup period. For the team, there is. For you buy tokens, you can sell right away. So just a heads up about that. I believe jail goes away. They haven't specifically said that. Maybe they. No, I think they have. Oh, let's just say it because I think it's pretty obvious. Jail's going away, just like points are going away. Now, the team's tokens, I'm struggling to see where a team is raising funds here, at least at the start, which they're not. They're not, right? Because the team is getting 50% of the token supply. 25% of that is unlocked at certain FDV milestones, starting at 2 mil. So token hits 2 mil FDV, they start unlocking tokens all the way up to 160 mil FDV. When they hit 160 mil FDV, they got all that 25%. Now, the other 25% locked for a year and then unlocks over this 6-month vesting schedule. So it's like a year and a half till they unlock all those tokens. Or if they hit 160 mil FDV, they get it all. So you're incentivizing teams to actually build and market. And, you can't just come here and wait it out and dump tokens. You're not going to get those tokens. You won't get them. What? Is there an incentive there for teams to come and experiment? Kinda. Are teams going to need funding at the start on their own to really, I don't know, build out their platforms, their projects? Maybe. By the way, 2 mil FDV is not big. So a lot of teams will unlock stuff, pretty much right away. Luna, I'm not sure if there is. That's a good question. I'm not sure if there is. Funny enough, I hadn't thought about that. I would assume there is, dude. Like, there's a lot more than are tracked over on that site, but yeah, I don't know. All right, now airdrops. Okay, 50% of the supplies for the team. That leaves what? The other 50% for everything else. Liquidity pool, pre-sale, airdrops here. 5%. 5% of the token supply is going to the community. 3% to ecosystem participants, 2% to virtual stakers. So the virtual staker thing didn't change. I don't think it's enough. First off, I don't think it's enough. I got to go back and forth with this. And I think I can't make up my mind without more info. I think we have more info to coming still. I would have liked to see the community rewards closer to like, I don't know, 7%, 8%, like 10 would be sweet. But I think there's going to be less tokens at these pre-sales than it might sound at first, right? But I would like to see the V virtual reward higher than 2%. I don't think that's moved the needle much, man. Oh, Erock, I can't wait to get to those, dude. I'm excited to get to these strategy things. Look, just to give a thought. I'm not expecting the Node Monk strategy to go well. Kind of like the Goblintown one didn't really look. It depends how you're defining going well. It cooked. It absolutely fucking cooked, but I don't think it's going to work well. Dude, everybody wait. Okay, we'll save it. I got too many thoughts about that. Yeah. Okay, guys, the airdrops, they're weekly airdrops. Hang on. I might need to put on a little jam here. Get in the zone a little bit. They're weekly airdrops, okay? So yeah, 2% to stakers, 3% to participants. Week 1, the participants airdrop is going to people with points. So they're taking the snapshot of your points. Hope you got some. Week 1, that 3% goes to the points. That's going to decrease each week over the next 3 weeks until you get to week 4, where that's not a thing anymore. And then it's going to be their vague, whatever ecosystem participants. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's like active traders. That's what I'm leaning towards. People trading. Maybe it's people staking agents. Maybe. I know Will is speculating that it's people who use Butler. I don't think it's that. Although I could see maybe part of it targeting people who use Butler, but I don't think, as much as they want people to use Butler, I don't think they're going to reward it with tokens. At least I hope not. Because I don't know. For me, I'm not going to use Butler. I still don't think it's got potential. I don't want to be forced to use a product that I kind of don't want to use. Although I'm using their platform, I got to use what they want me to. But I hope that 3% is not for using Butler. That would probably kill this for me. Like I don't really want to use Butler unless it's better at something than other things I'm using. If it's better, great, I'll use it. But if it's forcing me to use a kind of a thing that I don't need or want, that I don't think that would go over well for most people. That will not. Yeah, that won't keep people here. So I think it's going to work like today. Trading agents, right? Their new leverage trading, long, short, up to 3x leverage. Target that. Target people staking, if staking is even a thing going forward. Might not be. Other than individual projects have staking. So still one of those things we need to get details on. I imagine they're going to address all that on the show here. What that means right there. Again, points going away. This is them breaking down the that 3-week airdrop thing. Yeah, dude. Cat's betting it's for some Butler use. I could see a part of it. Out of that 3%, if it's 1%, even if it's 1.5, I would just hate if all 3% is for Butler. Oh, I like how you said it. It's for all 3 of these things. Butler use, trading, margin trading, providing liquidity. Yeah, it's got to be all. If it's all pillars of their ecosystem, that's cool. That makes sense. But man, that's the new launchpad. I like it. I think it helps. Right? Not being gated anymore means anybody can get in. Huge. Absolutely huge, right? I've got a buddy who, was interested in this stuff, but wasn't going to go through the points hurdles. Well, now he can come in and actually will be coming in. Everybody's looking at virtuals right now to at least get into this early stuff, which means, by the way, if you have points, you're probably going to eat early on because there will be extra volume here. So it breaks down all those barriers. It opens this up to way, way, way more people, which is great. The 99% tax, I said it before, turns everything into an event. Come up with your game plan, calculate. It's great for these shows, gives you stuff to talk about. It's great as those TGEs happen, having a good strategy talk as it's live. Awesome. Also, that 99% tax, what it's being used for, God, I'm trying to remember if this was in writing or somebody was speculating or if it's just known info, but that 99% tax, the tax that's charged on those tokens, goes towards buying back token. if that's true. Let me see if that's actually in here, guys. Was that in the official notes here, guys? Let me see if it was, because if so, I think that's pretty spicy. Meaning right off the bat, if you have people buying and taking that 99% hit, it just comes right back into the token. Okay, it's in the official notes, I guess. So I like it. That's great. These are going to get, by the way, these when they launch are going to have massive, well, they'll have big FTVs. They will. They'll have really big FTVs. There's going to be pretty low float. And with the buybacks coming in, yeah, these are going to be pretty spicy right out of the gates. So we'll see soon. I dig it. The only gating here is the 100 virtual fee for launching a token. I don't think it's going to limit launches at all. In fact, I think it's going to accelerate it. You know, you pay $150, $200 to launch a token. I think people are going to come in and take advantage of the liquidity that is actually here and the leverage trading that's actually here. So I think we're going to get a ton of launches, honestly. I do. I think this is actually going to I think it's going to accelerate launches. I'm hoping we get meme coins. We saw them before on Genesis. I imagine we'll see them again here. I think we'll get some good meme coin launches over here, guys. And we'll see teams that get that FTV way up there, unlock tons of funds, do buybacks, right? I think we're going to have some spicy launches coming up. And I really hope we get a meme coin. And I think we will. In fact, if I were making a bet, pure gamble, total coin flip. But I wonder if the very first launch that I believe is coming, I wonder if it's a meme coin. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. But I wonder if we get a meme coin out of the gates. Nah, maybe that's not a good look in case it fails. That's a bad first foot to put forward or whatever, right? Yeah, probably not a meme coin for the first one. But we'll see. I like the 24-hour wait, right? So you're not going to have stealth launches that you miss out on. You'll at least have time. Again, I don't like the community breakdown, the 5%. I don't love that. I wish it were more, especially for V virtual stakers, but it is what it is. You only stand to get watered down if more people come in. So I don't love that. I don't think that's enough incentive. Well, you know what that said, guys? I don't have a lot staked, like $200 worth. Let me peek at my airdrops and see what they've looked like recently. I mean, yeah, they're really little. We're talking like 20 cents worth of a token, and even on a good one like Tycoon, $1 worth, it's better than nothing. All right, hang on. Now I'm just kind of processing live. If we get more volume here, if we get more launches because it's easier to launch. I mean, look, $4 a waveform. Waveform is one of the hottest ones we've had recently. If we start getting hundreds and hundreds of launches, well, that does start adding up kind of quick, doesn't it? You get a waveform in there. Again, I've got $250 or so staked. So I should have had way more. I don't know why I didn't do more. Actually, maybe at this point I'm glad. I don't know. But if I can get $10 a week, like 10 launches that do okay, right? Tycoon's at, I don't know, 1.5, 2 mil market. I don't know. Just ballpark here. Now, maybe it's actually probably a little higher. Either way, if you can get multiple launches a week that are giving you 50-cent stimmies, dollar stimmies, awesome. We don't know yet if there's still a penalty if you sell them. We don't know. We don't know. Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. Dude, I told you guys, I think over the weekend, we've got like a cheer. I'm doing a cheer for my daughter's I don't even know what it is. I'm a cheerleader now. I'm so fucking sore as of yesterday. Didn't hit me the next day, wrecked me yesterday. Whatever. We'll make it, dude. We'll make it. Anyway, if we can get dollar stimmies, 50-cent stimmies, 20-cent, whatever it is, they will add up if we bring volume to the platform. We better be praying they get these teams over here, that they bring that volume. Leverage trading will do it. The low barrier to get in for teams will do it. We need more, right? We need more community backing from those guys. We need more, but the setup is there. Let me see what else I had here notes-wise. Will did drop a little alpha. This wasn't on the official release, but it's pretty interesting. By the way, Mike, just a heads up, this is a thing. Like if you're looking to degen a little bit, virtuals is something to be paying attention to. It's kind of easy plays, kind of. It's in a little transition period here, but it's been pretty nice. It's been pretty nice. Okay. Big Will said that on top of the 50% allocation that teams are getting, that teams are actually allowed to buy more tokens before this goes to public. I didn't read that anywhere, but I actually believe Will's got his sources, so I think he's right. I would love to hear more about that. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know where they get to buy. I don't know if those tokens are locked up the same with the rest of their 50%. Like, no idea there. But it does mean less tokens available for the public. And it is a way for teams maybe to unlock funding early, maybe. And dude, they might need it. Because I start thinking through all these changes and if teams have access to liquidity or not. And I start thinking, well, like, and they were talking about this on the show this morning. Well, where are the teams going to get the funds to pay for their Arbus campaign? Where are they going to get the tokens, right, to fund those, the mindshare campaigns, to do their own airdrops? Other than you can't promise a date. You just tell them when we hit this milestone, we'll airdrop you whatever. I don't know. This new virtuals unicorn kind of breaks some other projects, right? It kind of breaks Arbus, kind of. Maybe not. Teams are maybe going to have to put up front, out of their own pocket. That's fine. But what about a project like Bionic DAO and their Agent Zero? Is their whole game plan like cooked? Like, check it out. I like those guys a ton. They put months of work into building this thing. Yeah, Cats. I'm a little worried for Arbus. I'm pretty worried for Agent Zero. These guys, this was a pre-sale. I mean, they were in a way like a launch pad too, right? You could do some of your token pre-sale through them. Well, you're not anymore. There is no pre-sale now. So what does Agent Zero or Bionic DAO do? They break down projects, right? So they help give you like insights into a token launch, which is nice, but well, then they're only then competing with the shows that do it, the Will Show and the Evans and Nick and this and right. They are not giving you access to tokens. They're not giving you early entry in a token. That's gone. So yeah, what happens to an Agent Zero? What happens with that AI rocket project? Do they just not even exist anymore? I'm curious. Actually, I would love to get these guys back on and talk about direction because I got to imagine this changes their plan. It's one of those things I don't know how to feel about it exactly. I'm like, virtuals, they're like, look, I'll just say it. They're kind of poor planning. They're kind of poor vision for where this is all going. It's kind of wrecking a lot of teams in its wake, right? And I don't know if that's good or bad. I like teams that can pivot. You pivot until you find product market fit, right? You got to be able to do that. I respect teams who can like identify that they're on the wrong track and fix it. I respect that. But there is a point where the bad planning hurts too many people along the way, and then you start losing trust in those kind of things. I don't think virtuals is there, but I don't know. I question it. We're at the point where I start questioning it. If you follow virtuals and you plan around virtuals like we all did with our points and all of our strategy over the past, 6-8 months, and everything's changed, your whole game plan is fucked. At what point do you start losing trust in a platform like that? I'm just putting it out there. I'm not there yet, but I'm starting to at least think more about it. Again, a team like this who put months into building is kind of wrecked. Unless you guys see another path for Bionic DAO and Agent Zero, like what else they'd be doing, but yikes, boys. And it's not, I don't know. It's not Virtual's fault exactly, but it is the poor vision planning, whatever, that gets you in this position. These guys played by the rules and they get wrecked because the rules keep changing. What can you do? What do you guys think, man? I want to know if we can sell airdrops. Is there a penalty for selling airdrops? Are they going to unlock all of our stake tokens all at the same time? These are things I really want to know. I hope they just do a mass unlock. I think they should. I hope that question is asked on the virtual spaces today. I bet it will be. Those are probably my two biggest questions, along with the extra tokens a project can buy up. I'm really curious what that looks like. But look, if a project, when they launch, hit TGE, can buy up their own tokens, we're going to be starting with really high FDVs. That then affects, look, if they buy their tokens and if it's pre-tax even, don't know if there's a tax on it, but you might hit these launches where the 99% tax is there, but the token's already at like a multi-million FDV. Like, could happen. So yeah, we need more details about the token, the early buying from the projects. Dude, I got to look at AI Rocket. I'm kind of curious what they're at. I didn't like them. I mean, Cats, we had talked about it. I liked it, but I didn't. It just felt. I don't think I ever had much belief in this one. Yeah, damn. You know what? Not actually. Hang on. Let's go further. Not the craziest, but also I don't think they have a future here now. Jesus Christ, man. I remember this one. Dude, I remember that one exploding and people are like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. All right, I need a temperature check, guys. Bullish on unicorn, not bullish. Does it move the needle? Let me throw up a poll, actually. I'm really curious. Does this bring virtuals back? Or do you think this is like the beginning of the end for virtuals? If they unlock everything, it messes up projects like Whack and Fables with staking rewards. So you know what it is then? They need to give you an option to auto unstake, right? So maybe it's not that they just unstake everything. They just give you, maybe it's like a 24-hour, 48-hour like unstaking window. You can unstake if you want. But to your point, Cats, if projects were offering a thing for you to stake for a certain amount of time, yeah, I don't know. I got to think through that more. Yeah, I think the option then fixes it. Maybe there's a grace period and they just go have you stake on, platform, on the native platform. Some of them didn't build it though. Whack has it. All right, let's do a poll. Hey, attaboy Luna. All right, the poll is not going to be, hang on, the poll's not going to be, does it fix virtuals? Poll's going to be, do you think you make money over the next 3 weeks? Hang on, help me, guys. Let's dial in this poll. Do we do it about making money? Do we do it about you sticking around? Hang on, I want to get this right because I'm really, really curious. We can even do a couple. Wait, why can't I launch a poll? Dude, it gives me no poll up. Oh, I got a poll open. All right, here we go. Okay. Okay, real basic. And I'm going to run these kind of quick. Not expecting a ton of engagement on these, but I'm curious. Are you expecting to make money on Virtuals Unicorn in the first, 4 weeks? Let's just say for the first month. I'm trying to get a feel for if you're going to play it. Are you going to throw some money at these things, and are you expecting to make money on these tokens? I do think something spicy is coming. Actually, let me even say what I think is coming. I think. I don't know. And actually, this isn't the one. This isn't the one. I have something in mind that I think is coming, and I think it's within 24, 48 hours. But I also think this is finally coming too. I don't think. I mean, I think this is pretty obvious. But Mr. Grover. Hey, good shit. Finally. No, I appreciate you guys throwing that love on the show. It helps. It does. All right, you guys remember Mr. Grover? Luna, no. You don't say that, bro. You don't say that. Hang on a second. Are we dumping? Mr. Grover. I think it sounds like yeah, we are dumping a little bit. Not crazy. Actually, ETH. Yeah, everything's we're dumping a little. No biggie. Mr. Grover, I think we're gonna get that Mr. Grover launch finally. I don't know what it is, but like, dude, I got like 1 degree of separation away from Mr. Grover, or is it 2? Do you guys remember the fuck? What was the project that you could book flights? Do you guys remember that one? Was it Flight? It was Flight. I think it was Flight. The Flight guys know Mr. Grover, right? So I'm like, okay, it might be them. If it's not, that it's somebody close to them. And I start wondering then if the product is similar. I don't know. Ultimately, I don't know what the Mr. Grover thing is other than it's one of the virtual partners. And I think he's finally launching something. Is it a meme coin? Do we have like a Grover meme coin, whether it's named after him or whatever else? So like, okay, watch for that. I think we finally get info on Grover. That maybe is the first launch. I'm not betting that is. I think there's something else coming, but watch for Grover. I think we're finally going to see some life out of that guy, which is cool. What are we, 50-50 on that poll right now? I think we only have a couple. Well, we got 6 votes. Okay. Well, I mean, right in the middle. Do you expect to make money on Virtual's Unicorn in the first month? Big money, guys. Big money? Little money? Are we talking like $50? Are we talking like 500 or 5,000? You can just throw that in the chat. I'm curious if you're thinking this is just like a little win and you're moving on. Or is this going to be enough that keeps you around on the platform? Do you think you'll make that kind of money? I do think we're going to get new users and it will move the needle. I'm expecting a pretty decent first month. A bit of a waiting game, so we're going to see. And actually, we'll have a better idea after this virtual show today. So, okay, an hour and 15 minutes off. Virtual's live. We'll find out. All right, that's Virtual's Unicorn. I like it. They needed to make the change. I don't know if it saves them. My final thought, though, is it's not the mechanics. The mechanics are a big part of it. But if those mechanics work, others will copy it. The most important thing is, can you keep mind share in the ecosystem? Can you support the builders? Can you platform the builders? And if you can't do that, people will go to the ecosystems that are supporting the builders, that have copied your mechanics. So that to me is as important as fixing the mechanics. Virtuals needs to fix that. They need to support you guys who are making content. They need to support the shows. They need to support my show, Will's show, Nick's streams, the Evans guys. They got to do it. Bro. Hide your crypto. I got a story to tell you. I'll save it for the weekend stream, but I got a story about that I'll share. All right, let's get to the NFT market. We got to cover the strategy tokens. We're going long today. Market looking, dude, pretty damn interesting. NFT market. Look at DX Terminal is number 1 again in sales volume. E-Rock, I think they can take your crypto. I had made so many wallets because I was worried about that. I told my wife this week, actually, she'll never find it all. Had a little scare there. I'll explain it this weekend coming up. Anyway, DX Terminal, base NFTs, 3.5 million volume. People are farming base, hoping to get this base token drop whenever that's coming, because it's going to be one of the biggest cryptos ever. Like, period. It's that big. So people farming. You got to hide it well, E-Rock. You just got to hide it. You just got to hide it. They'll never find it if they don't know it even exists. Are all of us on the same page here? Are we okay? Let's have a little bro moment, okay? We all got a little secret stash somewhere. Maybe a lot. You being smart and tucking things away. Okay. I feel like a fucking scumbag a little bit, but also no, I'm just trying to be safe and smart. Actually, now I got to delete this video after, guys. Yeah, this episode you're not going to find. You're not going to be able to re-listen to, man. I got to zap the evidence. All right, CryptoPunks, Goblintown Cook and Goblintown, their strategy token launched yesterday. Massive volume. Yeah, no, the whole thing's going to get deleted, guys. Don't worry. You're all safe. Node Monks, also strategy related, cooking. Spoiler, we'll get to that too. Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, look, the top 3 NFT, I'm not counting DX Terminal, I should, but these top 3, top 4, top 5 collections, all of strategy tokens. Top 6 even, because Milady's got strategy launching Friday. Doodles, there's a lot of speculation that there's a strategy token coming. Okay, so basically the whole top 10, minus D-Market and DX Terminal, all of strategy tokens. Dude, beautiful. By the way, do we need to be looking out for NFT collections on... Yeah. I think we need to be looking out for Binance NFTs. I do. Dude, the memes are cooking over there, dude. I think we need to. We got to spend an episode. Look, I think I have a guest coming up tomorrow or Thursday. That Fury team, I'm trying to get on here. Yeah, they said yes. We're just trying to figure out if the morning actually will work. But we need to dive into the Binance memes. Anyway, big volume here. Looks pretty freaking fantastic. Rolling 24 hours, we're at almost 34 mil in sales volume. So starting to really pick up some steam here in the market. Looking pretty damn good. Sales yesterday, 29 mil. Dude, monster day. Love that. Yesterday, sellers up, buyers up, transactions up, average sale price up. How about trade profits? Actually, guys, that's great. 2 of the past 3 days, profits are in the positive. So great sign on NFTs. Big sales. We saw 2 Bitcoin shrooms, guys, sell for almost $500,000 each. This is almost 3.8 Bitcoin, 470 grand. There was another shroom that sold for the same amount. Could be wash. I don't think so. I think it's legit. These are I think these are sub 50 inscriptions on Bitcoin. So some of the first 50 NFTs to ever exist on Bitcoin. It's pretty cool. It's good to see big sales. It's good for the space. We saw Hyper sell for 325 grand as well, from free to 325,000 bucks in what, 3 weeks? How about that? Huge money. GG's to the Hyper Liquid guys. Good stuff. All right, Goblintown. Gob strategy launched yesterday, launched at 12 p.m. Eastern time. That should be when the check strategy token launches today as well. Should be noon. So we'll wait. We'll see. I may try to stream when it goes live because yesterday was a lot of fun, right? Jumping onto the chart, trying to figure out where people are buying. Yesterday, we did learn a lot. We got to learn a lot strategy-wise on how to play these. Oh, and just to spoil it for you, did it help the NFTs? Short term, yeah, but dude, they're looking pretty wrecked right now. They're not looking good. The Goblintown NFTs are down to 0.18, 0.19. They're actually down from a few days ago. I don't think the Goblintown strategy token's working. Now, with that said, token's sitting at what? Just over 2 mil market cap. Let me double check where exactly we're at. 2 mil market cap. Not looking great right now, but dude, when it launched, I think it touched 8 mil. Look at that, dude. It touched 7.5 mil. You got to admit, that was a pretty spicy launch. Okay, now I was watching right at the start, 95% tax, and are people buying? Well, it was kind of like an interesting slow grind right at the start where you did have an opportunity. If you bought it at the start and you got out at the top, you realized what? Like a 7x, 8x, like rough math, but big win. If you got in right at the start, you were up big. But you got to find that sweet spot. Are you going to take the 95% hit? Are you going to wait a bit and take a much smaller hit, but get way more expensive tokens, right? So now your multiple changes. And that's the game. It almost didn't matter, right? You won almost anywhere you got. Although if you bought somewhere, let's just say, and I'm looking at the times trying to figure this out, probably right around here at close to 2 mil. This is where it gets scary, guys. If you bought in close to 2 mil market cap here, and at that point, you're still looking at like a 50% tax. Well, if you held to right now, you're down. Without crunching the numbers, I probably should. Okay, hang on. Idea. Let's pull up Butternugs. Let's have my co-host join us here. So we ran through over the weekend a little exercise with ChatGPT. Let's do it again. Choina, you're hitting the nail on the head, and this is one of the most important things here. Here, I'll come back to ChatGPT. I want to talk about what Choina's mentioning here, which is just because you launch a strategy token doesn't mean it automatically works. By the way, Mesh, good to see you over on Abstract, man. A strategy token doesn't automatically work. In fact, I think they don't work unless you already have a community. If you don't already have like hardcore collectors, CryptoPunks works because a lot of those punks are never hitting the market. They're forever punks, right? Goblintown, A 20,000 edition collection with probably not a huge hardcore community. Look, you got guys who love the collection. You do. But not enough. Not anywhere close to enough. I don't see how it works on something like Goblintown, who also had a new mechanic too. They don't take the NFT. This is actually, I think, bad for their token. You know, the other strategy tokens buy the NFTs, they list the NFTs higher, and when they sell, they use the money to buy back token and burn token, right? So it's putting the pressure on the token in a good way. Well, the Goblintown one doesn't do that. They buy the NFTs and they burn the NFT, trying to make the effect of this strategy thing on the NFT side. But it doesn't matter if you burn a 20K collection down to 15K and there's still only 1,000, honestly, 500 people in the world who even want one. It's not going to matter. And all you did is kill the buy pressure on the token. Who wants to buy the token? You're buying the token because you believe there's going to be buy pressure on the token from the NFT selling. That's why you're buying the token. And if you don't have that buy pressure anywhere, then why are you buying the token? Kills it. It kills it. Dude, Vibester, I think is going to surprise people. I'm hoping people get spooked by the Goblintown one. I'm hoping they get spooked and they're like, all right, I'm going to sit this out or wait and watch. GVC one will work. GVC one's going to work really well. You have look, I'm not selling my GVC still. I love them. I'm going to keep one of my GVCs. At least one of them I'm just hanging on to and I'm not selling it. Might be the hoodie. You actually have collectors who love the thing and who know there's upside on it still. You don't have that in Goblintown. Alizar wasn't able to buy with tax. Oh, no shit. Uniswap wasn't allowing it, including the strategy site. Weird. Dude, weird. GVC is going to go pretty well. And so is Max Payne. I think there's something to the deflationary supplies and having, like, the most important thing is legit collectors. You got to have people that are just not selling the NFTs. You have a dump fest like this. This is not good. I mean, check that chart again. Here's the token. They did raise a ton in fees, right? They raised 2.1 million fees in 2 hours here. They used it. They bought, what, 600 Goblintown NFTs, but they didn't sell them. They first off, I don't think they'd have buyers for them, really. That would have crushed the NFT floor, but, oh, it's already crushed. But it's not going back into buying the token. So what would happen, guys, if they used that $2 million to buy back into the token, or even some part of that to buy back into the token? It might be a different picture today. And so I hope GVC keeps it as is, like buys the, lists the NFT, sells the NFT, buys back token. I think that's really important to keep that. But yeah, there's the NFT floor. That's the NFT. That's Goblintown. Not good. It ain't good. And okay, so I want to jump to Node Monks. Actually, let's just quickly peek ahead. Checks launching today, the check strategy, 0.7 floor, up 35%. So checks, it's working. Well, checks are deflationary and checks have legit collectors. So it should work on checks. And look, like the better checks does, that's our evidence of how well the pain strategy will do. It's an art collection. So if checks does really well and surprises people, pain strategy is going to shock people. So this is our big indicator for how pain strategy will do. Pain strategy launches tomorrow. GVC at 0.72 ETH, almost 0.73. People front running this one. Good. This one's gonna get really spicy. That token's gonna do really well because they don't have another token. It's their only token. So if people want to get exposure to a GVC via fungible token, they do it there. And I think the team's gonna support it. And then it buys back the NFTs. The flywheel's gonna fly. That one's gonna work. Squiggle was good. Oh, dude, nice. Dude, I'm down really bad on my Pudgy thing. I was okay with that. I was pretty sure I was going to be down on Pudgy in the short term. I don't want to risk missing it. And I was okay if I'm down on the Pudgy one because I think long term that one's going to be excellent. NFT, it must, dude. It must. If you don't have organic volume, these aren't going to work. GVC is going to work. And that brings us to Node Monks. As awesome as they are, and they're up really nicely, they don't have much organic action here. They just don't. And anybody that you did have that was like an organic, like believer, trader, whatever, They're not there anymore, man. Like I said days ago, everybody I know with a node monk, I'm telling you, dude, I'm not it's not hyperbole. 100% of the people I know that have a node monk are trying to get out in this pump. Every single person I talk to with a node monk is trying to sell it. Every single one. I don't know, man. These aren't going to work if those are the kind of collections that are launching these strategy tokens. That said, they'll have the buyback pressure on the token. And so, like, this is really important here. We get to see if the flywheel is enough to work on its own, as in when they raise enough money and they start selling the NFTs. So buying the NFTs, relisting them, if they sell, or we hope when they sell, right? When that money comes back to the token, do people try to front run that? Because that's when the price can get silly, and that's what you need. And once that starts, it keeps going. So I'm not writing off the node monk, the node strategy at all, because they bought NFTs. When they sell, it comes back to the token. They might even buy their own NFTs that are listed. They might, because they're not sweeping all at once. Some of the collections just buy all at once, right? They're not. They spent, what was it, like 7 or 8 Bitcoin yesterday to buy up node monks. Pushed a collection of what, 0.075, 0.078, something like that. So it really did pump this thing. But they're sitting on like 20 or 30 more Bitcoin to go buy. So I like that they're doing it in chunks, and maybe they're not going to announce when they do it. That actually helps a ton. Node monks could still work. Little pudgy fit. You know what? It doesn't fit anywhere. As far as we know, Mr. Uppit, the pudgy strategy one only does the big pudgies. So I hear people saying they should launch a little pudgies one, and they should have like 1% of those fees kicked back to the pudgy one, which I like. Like, I don't hate that. But yeah, there's a chance node monks or node strategy works. And if so, then they just show the mechanics of the platform of the token work strategy tokens. It works. Pretty cool. I didn't know this, guys. I wonder if you guys knew already. You might have already. I didn't know, but there's a puppet strategy. I didn't know they had one. I don't know how new it is. Like, is this? Yeah, this is new. I need to dive more into it. I didn't know there's a puppet strategy. If I did, I just totally blocked it out. It's not moving the needle for price, really. At 0.031, it's not really helping there. So I don't know. A lot of the eggs are in that basket with node monks there, and I'm not convinced it's going to work. It's not working here. They're burning the NFTs. It's an NFT. There's just so few people that care, man. I don't know. Imagine, though, if this all launched when NFTs were actually hot. Like, this launched when NFTs, like, truthfully, were kind of in a... I mean, we're still kind of in this down period, right? They launched at an interesting time. This would have been fucking rocket fuel if it launched, like, in peak fucking craze, peak NFT craze. This would have been wild. But yeah, only works for collections with demand. That's the way I look at it. I don't want to call Gobster a failure, because you did get the, you did hit 8 mil. You did get the sweep on the NFT, so everybody got a chance to get out of it in profits, like in big profits for the most part. But let's see. All right, so the founder of TokenWorks. So you know what? Let me hit that real quick. Mudtooth here saying that was probably the end of Goblintown NFTs. I don't know, dude. I actually agree with him. I agree. I think Goblintown might be cooked here. Because I don't know what coming back looks like for them. I don't know what they would need to do. I don't know anybody who cares. I don't mean to pick on Goblintown, but they're the token that launched. So that's what we got. Yeah, I think Goblintown's kind of cooked. And I hope they're not, but I think they are. Different story. And for the rest of the week, I think we've got great launches. I'll review the schedule again, because we got some good shit. I'm watching today's check strategy, tomorrow pain strategy, max pain NFTs, which it's working. It is working. The pain one, I think, is going to be very spicy. The NFTs at a 1.2 ETH floor. Hang on, where was that? There we go. Almost 1.3. Guys, we're talking what, like $5,000, $6,000? $6,000. Deflationary collection. when that token sells, they sweep the NFTs. This one is going to do really well. I think we might see Max Payne's at a 10K floor. Doesn't mean tomorrow or this week, but that's going to help this collection get up there. It's a great collection on its own. I always thought it would be there anyways, but as the supply goes down, but no, the buy pressure here might send him. Milady's at $9,000. How high do those get? That launches Friday, Thursday, GVC. Really excited for that one, man. I switched my PFP back to a GVC, right? I gotta represent this week. I'll go back to the Kong, but I gotta represent the Vibies. It's gonna do really well too. I really believe that. I think that one's gonna do phenomenal. So in a way, I think it's playing out how we thought. By the way, dude, what are we looking at? Oh, wow. Dude, Punkster's down to 178 mil. Pudgy down to 9. Holy fuck. I don't think this is crazy, by the way. I hear a lot of people sense an opportunity here still. I'm there. I actually believe this is I believe this is gonna work. Okay. Founder of TokenWorks on with Red Guy yesterday. Okay, a couple things I took away from that. One, shush it. He's looking to go multi-chain, right? Any EVM chain, so we should see base strategy tokens. Um, hang on, shush, bro. Hang on, shush, bro. Yeah, hopefully we see this on base. We could see it on what? Poly? I don't know. I don't know what other chain we'd really want to see it on, but Hyperliquid is one. He's actually considering if Hyperliquid integrates V4 pools like Uniswap V4 pools, then he can launch this on Hyperliquid too, which would be awesome. As of now, somebody on Hyperliquid copied his model. So there's that. But he did say they can expand this to ERC20s, and I think they're going to. So you'll get strategy tokens that come out that are for fungible tokens, like we saw with the Pengu strategy, right? So you buy the strategy token. When it raises enough money, it buys the meme coin or the fungible token. And then sell it when it's like 1.2x higher and then buy back the strategy. That'll work, actually. And that'll work probably, I don't know, dude. That might work better than the NFT versions. If we have a Pepe strategy, right? If we get like a Pepe strategy or a Pengu strat, which we have, but like let's get one on ETH or something. A Pengu strategy, an SPX strategy. I think some of those will do really, really well. Really well. And I think if you can launch one of these on a new meme coin, let's picture a brand new meme coin, but one that's going to last. Picture something like Useless or Unstable coin. I know we got to go EVM, but picture a new meme coin when it comes out and liquidity is low and how like violently they can move. If you set up a strategy token around a new meme coin, dude, explosive, like absolutely ridiculous. Dude, we just run through that scenario. Just think through how crazy that could get. Low liquidity, super hyped, and all this extra buying pressure from a strategy token. We could see tokens, I don't know how realistic this is, but I wonder if we could see new meme coins go from, basically nothing to like 300, 400, 500 mil in a matter of a day or two. I mean, dude, we've seen tokens go to $1 billion in like a day or two at the peak mania of meme coins. We've seen it, right? We've seen it. But this might make that happen even faster. That just watch for it. Just watch for it, because that could make some sense with these things. Got to think through it more, but that could make sense. So other chains, ERC20 strategies. I didn't love hearing him how he talked about the product. I'll just be honest. He didn't say anything wrong. I just didn't get a great feel from the interview, as in he's committed to this thing. He said he's committed. It's the only thing he's working on in the short term, medium term, but it might just be his demeanor. He just seemed kind of like, yeah, we'll see. It was a lot of like, we'll see, and I don't know. I didn't love that. But I'll tell you what my final thought is on this. It's pretty interesting. I always say with NFTs, and this goes for like virtual stuff too, so like fungible tokens, when you can value something, when you understand what the product is, hang on, let's do this personal again. I love doing this. I love taking the screen off. All right. When you've got a white paper and you understand, hang on, let's really do this. Let's really do this. Okay. So like with NFTs, when did Bored Apes see their peak? And this is really all of NFTs. When did they really see their peak? And when was Mania at the top? And not necessarily date. We know that was, early 2022. It was like the peak of speculation because we didn't fucking understand them. Everybody was promising like we're going to change the world. We're going to be the new Disney. We're going to be the new whatever. We didn't have any numbers. We didn't have any idea what the products look like. We had no idea what it looked like. And because we didn't know what it looked like, we couldn't sit there and on paper calculate out if the numbers even made sense. We couldn't do it because we didn't understand what they were even trying to sell us. It's a good thing if you're trying to have these things reach like ridiculous prices. That's actually the most important ingredient is not understanding the product. Because the second you understand it, you're back to your paper and you're calculating the numbers. You're like, this thing has a $3 billion market cap, but they bring in what, $15 a month. Like, how the fuck does that make any sense? Right? The more you understand a product, the more limited its value is. You start pricing it in real world, like kind of terms and money. And none of this stuff makes sense if you do that. So in a way, the fact that he says his answer to some of the questions is, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know how big it can get. I don't know if it'll work. When he says stuff like that, again, I said my takeaway was kind of like, but that is the most important ingredient, not knowing that we can still speculate away that, oh shit, well, Punk Strategies can be that $1 billion coin because we think we could do this and we think this. And if this thing gets big enough, it's all these like what ifs. And we think and we hope. There's nothing definitive here. All these things that launch that feed back into the Punk Strategy token, all those things let you go speculate away on how big it can get. It is the most important thing. So although he left me, bearish is totally the wrong word. It's totally the wrong way to put it. In fact, I want him on this show bad. I need to reach out to him. So it's not bearish. It just didn't leave me with a ton of confidence that he's doing this with conviction, knowing how it's going to play out. And that's fine. He's experimenting. And I think most of the biggest things that have come out, that have worked out for us that we've made money off of are experiments. So I don't know. I think the ingredient is there, the most important ingredient. We don't know what the fuck these will be and what they'll look like in 6 months. We don't know if they'll exist in 6 months, but you can see that other side of it where if they work, they could work in a really big way. And that's what gets those really stupid valuations. It's there. We'll see if it plays out. What if, bros? What if? What if? It could happen. It could. All right, let me hit a couple other quick headlines here. I don't think we have a ton, by the way. It was like slower. Hate to call it slow. It's not slow out there right now. I do want to put some attention on, again, the Binance memes. Won't be today. Anime Coin. Anime Coin now started a new, what they've got a streaming service on anime.com. Live stream yesterday. Zeneca was on it. Who else was on it? I think it was hosted by, was it Whale? Yeah, I think it was hosted by Whale. But Zeneca is a guest. Look, live stream. During the stream, you get it like a digital avatar that I think is an NFT, and you can spend Anime Coin on digital collectibles, like blind boxes, whatever. Cool as fuck, man. Come on, we're looking for stuff that reaches outside our echo chamber, that gets people who have no idea we exist. You get them with anime. You get them buying Anime Coin. You get them starting to buy NFTs. Trojan horse, man. Awesome. Awesome to see. They sold out their blind boxes. Really cool. I want to catch the stream next time. Hang on. If we go to the site, I wonder if it has like a replay of it. I would love to just peek at what it was like. But I like that, dude. I like it a lot. I think you can tip in the Anime Coin too. Yeah, look, they just go live at a certain point with some type of show, which super cool, man. Super cool. Yeah, big fan of that. All right, let me keep throwing up a couple more headlines here for you guys. And then we're out. Newsletter drops today, guys. If you jump in the crypto, I'll drop a link to sign up to the newsletter. Mike, I don't know if you're still watching. It's kind of perfect for you. It's a once a week newsletter just with all the important things that happened in the past week. So like I always say, the stuff that we do at CryptoSlam, or I'll speak for this show in the newsletter. It's perfect for people who are like, can't stay plugged in 24/7. So the newsletter, especially a week recap, it's aimed for like business professionals. Again, people who have a life, not, ridiculous degens like like a lot of us. I'm going to drop a link to the to sign up for the newsletter here. Where the fuck is it? Hang on. There we go. Sorry guys, one sec. What else? I put like upcoming like NFT drops and stuff on it. Like it's a good way to keep up with like this side of crypto. Not many people know this side of crypto exists. They don't. They hear about it after it's on a major exchange, right? That's where you hear about this stuff. Or if the news covers like an NFT like Bored Apes, you don't hear about this stuff otherwise. You just don't. Where the fuck? There we go. There we go. All right. All right. Doodles. I actually don't know exactly what this is, but they had the collectible Fruit Loops box. They had a 1/1 golden spoon. It's an NFT. It's probably digital. Yeah, it is digital. It's a wearable. Okay, so in that Doodles ecosystem, you got your avatar, you got your limited edition clothes. Now you got a 1/1 spoon. Someone won. This guy won. Jive Doodle. GG's to him. Love it. Love to see it. Kat mentioned prediction markets. So speaking of prediction markets, they are scooping up a lot of the talent that's out there. A lot, which is pretty sweet. ICO Beast is joining Kalshi. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. He just left a new crypto gig he got because he got this opportunity to work at Kalshi. He definitely made the right choice here. As good as his previous gig was, you don't turn down something like this. And he's going to be a big player over there. So GG's to ICO Beast. Lurky's got a really sweet update. I love the Lurky guys. We're cooking with them. But alpha reports, right? So this goes into your Twitter spaces. It transcribes them all, breaks them down. It's going to start delivering you alpha reports about spaces. What tokens are people talking about? Who are the people that are talking about them early? You can start figuring out who the people are that you need to be paying attention to. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Live now, you get one report a week for free. After that, you pay what? I don't know. You pay something. But if you're looking to find that edge, damn, this is like a full-on sponsored segment, but unsponsored. But no, if you're looking to find that edge and you want that alpha early, that makes a ton of sense, man. That makes a ton of sense. Where else are you going to get that other than listening to hours and hours and hours of spaces? Now just pull up the alpha report. So pretty cool. And then final headline here, Coinbase won subscribers. Coinbase partnering with OpenSea here. Pretty cool. So if you're a Coinbase One subscriber, you're getting a, an OpenSea treasure chest. Not bad. Not a bad part. OpenSea's doing all the right stuff now. I love it. OpenSea really righted that ship. They did. I was pretty bearish on OpenSea knowing they turned over user data. That still didn't get the attention it deserved, by the way. It didn't. Nobody talked about that, and to me, that was a big deal, right? When my brother was telling people, when people learned the cyberkongs were under SEC investigation and Henry shared, oh yeah, during that investigation, we learned that OpenSea's turning over user data. They didn't even fight it. I couldn't have been more bearish on those guys. 180. I like them, respect them. They've turned that right around. They're building, they're working. You know what? That's the perfect analogy for what Virtuals needs to do. The way that OpenSea changed everything and built out the platform for users and engages with the users and supports the projects, that's what Virtuals needs to do. Fix the mechanics all you want, but you need to support the Virgin community. You have to. If you don't, nobody's going to care. So Virtuals needs to really pay attention to OpenSea here. Hope they do. All right, virtual spaces in 40 minutes. Tune in. If you miss it, we'll be covering it tomorrow. If they launch, if the first launch comes tomorrow, you won't miss it, right? At least 24 hours from an announcement is the earliest TGE can happen. So we'll cover it tomorrow. We'll go over all those final details. I have a feeling, though, if I'm a betting man, I'm betting that we get our first unicorn TGE within 48 hours. It might be 24, but I'm going to say within 48. So we got a fun rest of the week coming. Keep your eyes on the strategy tokens. We'll cover those too. Guys, make sure you subscribe to CryptoSlam over on YouTube. I got some cool things lined up. Not spilling the beans yet, but cool things lined up. We'll say that. Follow SlamAI _XY. Let me go through them all. Why not? SlamAI _XYZ. That is the most important. Follow, pay attention. We have a big behind the scenes thing we're hammering away at today, but man, you're going to see all this stuff soon. Again, you can follow me at Hudah _idiot. I'm just going to do them all. I never shill the CryptoSlam account anymore, but I'm gonna. Follow us at CryptoSlam. It's CryptoSlam.io. Luna, I'll pull it up. Yeah. We'll show your bags, man. And the swarm _AI. Hell yeah. Yeah, we'll show your bags, man. Hang on. Dude, I gotta blow away this, like, that waifu that keeps populating. Hope you're up, dude. I know you're up. Oh, dude. Dude, that's at 4 mil now? What were we looking at 1 mil or something over the weekend? Yeah, I think Luna, tell me, am I wrong? You put it on our radar right here at that first pullback, like somewhere around here, like 1.3-ish. And you must have been in down here, 100, 200K, something silly. Look at that, dude. Nice. Dude, Solana memes are so wrecked right now, though. Like, Cappy's getting destroyed. I believe in Cappy still, but I'm not pulling it up because I'll vomit. There you go. Hey, GG's to you, man. I don't think I'm buying any Solana memes right now. I would only, I mean, look, all the liquidity is going to the Binance chain right now, man. Look at the memes over here. Look at the volume over on these Binance tokens. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, we got to put some time over there. I could buy that, Luna, because look, I believe we're going to get another ETH meme coin cycle. We haven't had it yet. We just haven't. So I think Pepe is going to absolutely melt faces. I think that, I think it's all cycling back, all of it. I really believe this. I think we'll get a Solana PFP season, like NFT season again. Memes will come back on Solana. Memes will cook on ETH. All of it, guys. We've not hit euphoria yet. We haven't. When euphoria comes, everything's going to cycle back in and everyone's going to go have one last round of extraction. Maybe longer than a round 2, so we'll see. We'll be here for it, though. That's all I know for sure. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time, all the usual places, and maybe right in the thick of Virtual's Unicorn and gearing up for the Pain Strategy launch tomorrow. Going to be sweet. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Goodbye.